Lark, it's time for you to speed run, giving us everything that we need to know before.
Oh yeah, what's the
Here's
story?
your go.
I have no idea what's going on.
You run through everything.
Yeah.
Come on.
Throw it all
Once
out
upon
there.
a time, there was an island. Some shit blew up, right?
Yeah.
So some people came and discovered this island, right? And they're like, yeah, we should imprison some people here. So they imprisoned the people for like centuries. Shit was crazy. And then one day, 7 people from that prison got out, right? They're like, oh shit, man, some people got out. It's just fucking crazy. So those 7 people decided to build a beta. Oh shit.
You interrupted your story. Go ahead.
Yeah, Origin, shut the fuck up. Anyway, like I was saying. So anyway, the 7 people were like, hey, bro, we should build a base on the moon. They're like, lit, let's do it. So they fucking build the base on the moon, right? So they're like vibing, right? And then what happens is like one day, like they find out, like they go back to the island, right? Because like, one of them just like wants to vacation there, right? She's like, she's just vibing. And she's like, yo, hey, there's just like giant glowy thing in the middle of this island shit that we were like in prison on. They're like, oh, really? Bet. They're like, hey, that seems pretty important. We should probably guard that shit. So she's like, okay, cool. So she's like vibing there and like guarding the shit. And so like, yeah, eventually like, like what happens is like some monster pulls up, right? They're like, hey, he's like, hey, bro, like I'm about to fuck everything up. Like, I like everything. And she's like, nah. The monster's like, yeah. And she's like, nah. The monster's like, okay, bet. And she's like, okay, bet. So she's like, she goes back to her like 6 other friends, right? And she's like, hey, this monster thinks he's gonna like fuck up our turf. They're like, nah. And she's like, that's what I said. So she's like, okay, bet. So then like they make this like giant robot thing, right? It's just like kind of like a transformer and like a fucking like Gundam like put together with like some Voltron pieces. Yeah, and then like they like. God damn it, Jonesy. Fucking interrupt my story. Anyway, as I was saying, so they're like, yeah, okay, bet. And so like they're like, yo, like what if we built like a giant fucking robot? And she's like, yo, that's a great fucking idea. She's like, I can pilot that shit. They're like, can you really? She's like, yeah. They're like, okay, cool, bet. And so like they built this robot, right? And so then the monster pulls up. The monster's like, hey, yo, what's up? Like you said I wasn't gonna pull up, and I pulled up. So like I'm here. It's like, what's good? And then she's like, okay, well like we were waiting for you though. Like you're not impressive. And the monster's like, oh really? So like monster like low key like fucks her up, right? Like rips off her arm and shit. And like she like like for a second there like she was like in there like bing bing, like she was in there like she was 1-2 piecing them, right? But like the monster's like, nah son, like I ain't going out like that. So the monster like started fucking her up. So she, right, the chick is piloting the robot, right? She like pulls a bitch move and like it's like, hey, I'm gonna grab this fucking circular donut looking thing from the middle of the map. He's like, yo, this looks delicious. Like if I'm gonna have a last meal, like I'm gonna just try this real quick. But little did she know, like it actually like powered up the mech, right? And so like she squeezed it, and then like she's like, oh shit.
Validate peripheral pneumatic function.
God damn it.
Function is acceptable, but suboptimal.
Alright, anyway, so like she fucking grabs the donut thing. She's like, okay, like this is like fucking supercharging my shit. And so it's like she punches the fucking robot, or sorry, the robot. She punches the fucking monster, and like stabs it through the head, and it's like GG's, and it's like over, right?
Yeah.
But like she had to dip though, right? She had to dip though, right? Because she's like, all right, like bet, like my shit's kind of fucked up. So like her friends were like, yo, like you kind of fucked up our shit. Like this was like $1 billion to make this giant robot. Like we took out a loan for this shit, and she's like, I mean, yeah, but like I won though. They're like, you right? So like they were kind of cool, but then they realized like, cause she squeezed the donut on the island, like shit just kind of fucked up. So they're like, oh man, like you kind of fucked everything up. She's like, damn, you're right. She's like, hey, I think I know how to fix it though. She's like, those giant like phallic looking rockets we got? They're like, yeah. They're like, hey, we can like push those through the donut. So like she shoots the rocket through the donut, right? And they're like, oh shit, this might actually fucking work, but we might lose our memories if we shoot it through the fucking donut. But she's like, it's all good. Like I'll see you on the other side and shit.
To report, Jones.
Nope, nothing yet.
God damn it, Jonesy. Anyway, so they get the other side, right? And like she's like so like the fucking donut turns out, right? The donut like it's kind of like the source of the island, and so like the donut like made a whole new island, and so like the donut's now on the other side of this island, right? But like they're like, but everybody's like split up because like there's like a black hole and shit through the donut, so it's like a donut hole,
Donut hole.
Yeah, it's like a donut hole. So like they went through this donut hole, right, into the other side of the island, and that's where shit starts really getting crazy, right? So then this one guy who like can turn shit to gold with his hands, right? Like he fucking goes and he makes this fucking like these pillars and shit, right, which push like the storm on the island back, and like it like fucks with the donut, and so like the donut's like like the donut's in its feelings, right? Because the donut's has been fucked with. It's like I've been squeezed, bro. Like I've been like ripped apart and like pulled to another like fucking island. Like this shit's crazy. So the donut's like, yeah, fuck y'all. And so like the donut starts fucking up the map and like all the reality, and like. You know, the mother like 6 guys like they were just vibing, like they don't even like give a fuck. They're like, man, fuck reality, like, you know, this shit, like this, the donut's gonna do it. Anyway, the donut's gonna do what the donut's gonna do, and you know they're just vibing. But this one guy named Jones, right? Like this Jones guy, like he comes out, bro. Right, check this out, right? He comes out, he's like, nah, fuck that. Like I'm gonna put a band-aid on the donut, but like I'm gonna need some help. So like he calls up like the main guy from those 7 guys, and he's like, hey, I need a band-aid on this donut. And the 7 guys like, I mean, like it's my day off, but like I'm not really doing shit, so I guess like I'll fucking help. So they put it's just the most stupid fucking story. Should I keep going? Should I keep going?
Yeah, keep going.
All right. So anyway, are y'all just fucking sitting there?
This is so interesting.
All right. Anyway, so like I was saying, right? They put a band-aid on this donut, right? But like the dude, the 7 guy gets. Excuse me, sir. Anyway, that's what I was saying. Anyway, the one guy gets stuck in the band-aid, and he's like, hey, yo, like I'm gonna need you to get me out this band-aid because this shit's tight. He's like, and the Jones guy's like, okay, bet, like I can do that, but like it's gonna take me a minute. And the 7 guy's like, bet, but hey, also because you did this, like you got to get me to this guy named Geno, because you know Geno's like he's like hella fucked up, and Jones is like, oh, I can do that. He's like, oh, and I also need you to get me to these sisters because they're extra fine, especially the one with the freckles. Like she's like extra thick. All right, like they've been gone for a minute, and like I don't know where they're at, and they like low key owe me money. And Jones like, okay, bet, I got you, fam. So anyway, Jones like goes on his mission to like get the other guy out the donut, and like some aliens pop up, right? And like they start fucking with the donut, and the donut is like at this point the donut's like fucking done, bro. The donut's just tired of being fucked with. Like the donut's just fucking done, right? So like the donut's like, man, like am I gonna catch a fucking break? So anyway, these aliens, right? These aliens like they're like playing basketball with the donut and shit and shooting free throws, right? They call Kobe over. Kobe shooting fucking free throws, passing to LeBron, like they're using the fucking donut to shoot free throws, right? So fucking. How long were you looking for that emote?
Wow.
Wait, where was I at? Hold on. Aliens, basketball, LeBron.
Aliens, basketball.
Okay, yeah. So anyway, so like the aliens are like being dickheads, bro. So the aliens are like, hey, bro, like this island got like people on it and shit, and like everybody's like, okay. Like the other aliens are like, okay, cool. So like, what do you want to do? Like the one alien's like, yo, bro, we should fuck with them. But like, hey, and the other alien's like, bro, like, what the queen finds out? They're like, bro, the queen won't find out, bro. We're chilling. Like, it's fine, bro. Like, nothing could go wrong. So like, excuse me, Jonesy, thank you. So anyway, so I was saying, bro. So like the aliens start fucking with people. Like they start abducting them and shit. Like, they're not like doing any crazy experiments. So they know like the people on the island like fucking afraid of them and shit, but like they're just fucking with them, right? But then this one fine chick, right, on the island, like she pops up, who it turns out like she's Jones's boss, right, bro? She fucking pops up, right, bro? And she's like, yo, like these aliens are fucked up. Like they gotta stop fucking abducting people for no reason. Like what the like I'm trying to watch Netflix and like they're interrupting the broadband connection with the fucking, you know, the spaceship over my head. Like this is fucking with my signal. So like, so fucking just Sloan's like, all right, so check it out. She starts talking like to all the people on the island. She's like, oh, listen, we're gonna get like Superman and Rick and Morty, and they're gonna like help us out and do absolutely fucking nothing to like by the end of the shit. But like we're just gonna have them here just for like moral support and fucking motivation and shit. It's like Superman and fucking Rick and Morty and shit show up, right? And they're like vibing out, and like Morty's like, hey Morty, hand me that thing over there, Morty. And Morty's like, oh jeez, Rick, I don't know, this isn't a good idea. And he's like, Morty, listen, just hand me the thing. And like that goes on for like what was it?
Multiple mechanical weak points detected.
As I was saying. Anyway, that goes on for like 3 months, right? Okay, so after all that shit, like Morty and like Rick and Superman, they like disappear, like, and like nobody knows what the fuck they went, so they're like gone, right? But anyway, so like fucking the Sloan chick, right? Like she, like Jones's boss, like she goes, right, and she's like, yo, like we're gonna like take these bombs and like put them on the ship, you know, because they're fucking with the donut and the people on the island. And we were all like, bet, right? So all the people on the island were like, yo, bet, all right, so we're gonna go. So like they go on the ship, right? And like they take they sneak some bombs on and shit. And they're like, yo, what's up, aliens? The aliens like, yo, bro, like, what the fuck you doing on our ship? They're like, yo, we're here. And they're like, okay, and what are you gonna do about it? They're like, huh, watch, fam. So like, these bombs are about to go off in the ship, right? And the crazy part is, like, Sloan, like, she was supposed to let us out, but like she didn't let us out. And so like the bombs are about to go off, so we're like, oh shit. But then like this cube, right? This cube pops up out of nowhere and turns blue and shit. Like the bombs don't go off. And everybody's like, oh, holy shit, like we saved or some shit. And then like everybody like
This backups of backups, alarms, tripwires. If I didn't know better, I'd say this is Sloan's handiwork.
Good. We have unfinished business.
Yeah, you and me.
The
both.
Rock.
calm.
The Rock.
Oh my goodness. Anyway, as I was saying, we get out that room with the cube, right? And then like we end up in a room with like a bunch of other cubes. But, like these cubes are like extra mean, bro. Like these cubes are haters, bro. Like you talk about haterade, like bro, they got all the hate, bro. Like they like bro, they kill like your worst hater, bro, and then like ramp it up to like 11, bro. Like this shit was crazy, bro. Anyway, so like there's like we're in a room full of hater ass cubes, right? And so like the blue cube like disappears and some shit, and we're around all these like hater ass purple cubes and shit, bro. And like the bombs go off and the shit blows up and the aliens are like, fuck, bro, like I thought you said like nothing bad would happen. And the other aliens like, bro, like I thought we were straight, bro, but these humans like they kind of fucked us up, bro. Like maybe we shouldn't have been like abducting them and shit. So like we all fall into the island with all these cubes and shit, right? And then like this their queen pops up. She's like, hey yo, who the fuck blew up my ship, bro? That was a Mercedes.
I gotta ask. This whole total destruction thing just doesn't feel like Sloan to me. She does whatever it takes to win, but she's not a monster.
Sloan's never been in charge.
Hold on.
Wait.
Sloan's
Do
never
you
been in charge.
seriously mean that?
Geno. It's always been Geno.
Oh, I told you I'd get you Geno, so you're welcome.
What? Okay. Anyway, so like the this queen, right? She pops up out of this cube, right? And it's like a gold cube because she's extra bougie and shit, bro. So like she pops out this gold cube. She's like, yo, who the fuck blew up my spaceship? Like I was the least, bitch. Like I was a Mercedes S-class fucking spaceship, and we were like, I mean, maybe you shouldn't have been abducting us and shit. And she's like, nah, fuck that. I'm taking your whole island. And I'm fucking with your donuts. So she like goes over the part where like the donut's at, right? And like she starts fucking with the donut, like taking energy from the donut. And the donut, like, bro, I'm telling you, like the donut, I feel bad.
I've seen movement that confirms our suspicions. Imagined order forces appear to be preparing for an all-hands evacuation.
They can prepare all they want, but there's no escaping what's to come.
Oh wow. The Foundation stopped playing. The Foundation's like, nah, fuck that. You're all dying. You're all dead. So yeah, so bro, I feel bad for the donut at this point because the donut's just about like being fucked with. So anyway, so turns out, right? So remember that guy I told you about, that Foundation guy who's like the 7 guy, right? So like turns out like when he got put in the Band-Aid, he was actually on vacation and like he teleported. And he was chilling with Batman. So him and Batman were like vibing in Gotham. And he was like, yo, Batman, like, you got hoes? And Batman's like, bro, I got all the hoes. And like, and Foundation's like, bet. So they were like hanging out with Catwoman and Poison Ivy and shit, bro. They're having like a great time. And all of a sudden, like the Batman Who Last popped up.
Shield generators marked and accounted for. We're gonna make this a big old walk in the park for you, Moonbase.
Okay, good.
Anyway, as I was saying, so the Batman Who Last pops up, right? He's like, nah, bro, like you didn't invite me to the party. Like, nah, bro, because you're weird. And he's like, nah, fuck that. Like, you should have invited me. And they're like, nah, like, nah, we can't, nah. Like, bro, you're like, look what you're wearing, dog. Like, you fucking got skinny jeans and like and boots on, bro. Like, who does that? It's like it's not 2011, bro. Like, we don't rock that outfit no more. He's like, nah, bro, I'm bringing it back. And Batman's like, nah, fuck that. Like, bro, like you're not in, bro. Like, you can't be here. He's like, nah, okay, well, bet. And so like he's like, okay, well, you're not gonna fucking let me have a party. Well, I'm gonna ruin yours. So like he grabs like the Foundation and like he throws him through the donut. So they go to the donut, right? And now they're on the island with the donut. And the Foundation's like, oh, fuck, bro, that vacation was lit, but this guy just fucking ruined it. And it's like, where'd he go? He's like, oh fuck, fucking Batman Who Last disappeared, bro. So he's like vibing on the island, right? He's like, oh shit, well, he's like, I'm here. Well, fuck, oh shit, Jonesy promised me Geno and shit, so I should probably go find him and the sisters because they're thick, right? So he fucking finds Jonesy, right? And like Jonesy like is being like in some BDSM shit with like Dr. Sloan. And he walks, he's like, whoa, shit, is this a bad?
Team standing by for launch.
Anyway, so he says, right, like, hey, is this a bad time? Like, did I interrupt something, fam? And Jonesy's like, nah, bro, it's just a Tuesday. Like, this is what we do here at the headquarters. He's like, oh shit, my bad. But hey, bro, like like, you trying to leave? Because, like, I'm trying to find the sisters and shit. He's like, oh, yeah, bro, fam, bet. And so, like, Sloan's like, but we weren't done. And Jonesy's like, well, he's like, I am, though. So, like, but Sloan's like, I didn't finish. He's like, but I did, though. And so, like, Jonesy leaves, and, like, Sloan's mad. And so, like, Jonesy and, like, the Foundation, like they leave, and then turns out, like, Sloan's, like, going batshit crazy because, like, she's, like, some crazy ex or some shit. And so, like, Jonesy's like, hey, bro, we should fucking flip the map. He's like, and Foundation's like, bro, that's lit. Like, we should totally do that. I haven't been to, like, the other side in a minute. And so, like, he calls up his boys, like, the scientist and the fucking, the visitor, bro. And they're like, hey.
I got a box. My shipping is here.
Are you?
You just interrupt the story?
Bro, shut the fuck up.
No one cares about your box.
Anyway, as I was saying,
let the man finish the story.
So, like, scientists and visitor pop up. They're like, hey, like, y'all need a map flipped? And the Foundation's like, yeah. Anyway, so, like, the Foundation's like, okay, bet. And so Jonesy's like, bet. And so they're like, okay, we're gonna flip this shit. And so, like, the map starts flipping, and then, like, plot twist, the Cube Queen, right? Like, she was about to fuck everything up, right? And, like, everybody totally forgot about her, right? She's just fucking up shit and, like, just making everybody's life a living hell. But, like, she's fucking up everything, right? And then turns out, plot twist, she's afraid of water, right? She's like, yo, I didn't bring my floaties and I never learned how to swim. So, like, the map gets flipped over, right? But, like, into water and shit. And so, like, the map, like, is submerged in water, but it's, like, flipped over. And turns out, like, the donut, like, didn't, like, just create, like, a new map, bro. Like, it kind of split the map in half and made 2 maps. And, like, bro, like, there's, like, 2 islands and shit, like, through the donut. So now they're on, like, the others, they're, like, on the flip side of the donut map, right? And so, like, they're all vibing and shit. And, like, Jonesy's chilling there with, like, the Foundation's like, hey, bro, y'all are kind of cool. Like, can I vibe with y'all for a little bit and kick it? And Foundation's like, bro, bet. He's like, yo, where the sisters at? He's like, bro, I'm on it, bro. I got you, my guy. Like,
we up there, mech team. We got your back.
Anyway, so, like, he's like, bro, we can vibe out right now. He's like, okay, bet. So, like, he's like, okay, let's kick it. So Jonesy's like, hey, yo, bro, like, on a scale of 1 to 10, like, how fine are the sisters? He's like, bro. Foundation's like, bro, listen. He's like, you ever seen the Wendy's logo? He's like, yeah. He's like, bro, imagine like, one of them looks like the Wendy's logo, but, like, cuter. And Jonesy's like, bro, I've had a crush on the Wendy's logo for a minute, fam. That's lit. He's like, bro. He's like, hey, look, man. Like, you find them, bro. I'll introduce you, bro. I'll hook you up. I got you, bro. I'll get you in there. He's like, okay, facts. So anyway, so turns out, right, like, while they're like Jonesy and the 7 are, like, vibing, turns out, bro, the whole time Sloan is still mad because she's trying to get Jonesy back. And so, like, she's like, nah, fuck that. I'm bringing, like, the whole force of my army to get some D, right? And so she gets drills and shit, and she, like, takes into the map, and she starts, like, a whole ass fucking war. And Jonesy's like, hey, yo, what the fuck? Like, bro, like, what are you doing? Like, we're vibing over here. And she's like, yo, you ain't gonna just leave me like that. Like, you ain't call or nothing. He's like, we weren't nothing. She's like, I'm trying to figure out, like, what you're trying to do. And Jonesy's like, I'm not trying to do nothing with you. Like, I'm trying to live my best life.
After this, I think it's time I get my own 70 name.
No.
Now, just stay with me here. Like, what about the Infiltrator or ooh, the Hunter? Ooh, the Legend.
You want me to call you the Legend?
Oh, so we got one vote for the Legend. Great. Yeah, we'll come back to it.
That's hilarious. Anyway, as I was saying, she's like, what are we? And Jonesy's like, we're nothing. Like, I was just there to hit it and quit it. Like, ejaculate and evacuate, you know? Like, I'm done. Like, it wasn't nothing special. And she's like, wow, that's how you really feel? He's like, yeah. Like, I'm hanging out with my friends. Like, can you, like, leave? She's like, no. He's like, okay, well, this is awkward because, like, I'm not leaving either. So, like, what are we going to do here? She's like, I'm going to start a war. He's like, wait, what? And so, like, she starts a war, right? And she starts tearing up shit. And so, like, the 7 and, like, the Foundation and shit, like, they're all vibing. And they're like, bro, like, she's fucking up the whole vibe. So we got to, like, figure this shit out. He's like, all right, well, I mean, like, we could, like, try to retaliate or some shit. And he's like, okay, well, let's fucking do it. So, like, they start going to war with Sloan. And while that's going on, like,
Origin, we need your help. We're pinned down, outnumbered 10-1 and low on ammo. I need you to find us a way. Oh, actually, hang on. Foundation is, yeah, we're good.
So they're fighting Sloan and shit, right? And things are getting crazy. And then, like, Jonesy went off on his own. He's like, hey, bro, like, I found the sisters. And he's like, yo, real talk? Like, one of them's, like, extra fine. Like, you told me, like, the Wendy's girl, bro? Like, I'm trying to clap. And the Foundation's like, bro, I can help you. And so, like, Foundation goes over to, like, the Wendy's girl. Her name's, like, the Imagined or some shit. And he's like, hey, my boy's trying to holler. And she's like, oh, no, I'm not into guys like that. And he's like, nah, bro, but for real, like, he's a real one. Like, he's got money and shit.
I thought we agreed this was a stealth mission.
They're quiet now.
I mean, that's true, but
What?
nothing.
Anyway, as I was saying, she's like, no, I'm not into guys like that. And he's like, nah, but like he's a real one. Like he's really dope. And she's like, okay, like I'll give him a shot. And so like Foundation's like, hey, bro, like we've been doing this war for a minute, and like I feel like everybody needs to blow off some steam. Like we almost like won this shit. Like let's throw a party, right? He's like, okay, bet. And so like Jonesy and the Imagine like they go to this party, right? And like she like wasn't feeling him at first, but like they started vibing, and like Jonesy like he got in there, you know, he was feeling her. Like they're kind of like like Jonesy said he would never fall in love, but like he low key caught feelings, right? The Imagine like she wasn't really feeling him at first, but like they kind of got a little thing, right? So anyway, fast forward, turns out like Sloan was like being an extra dickhead, and so like she took the donut, right, and she built like a giant thing over the donut, and the donut's just like, bro, like, are you kidding me? Like, how many more times am I gonna get penetrated? Like, this is ridiculous. And someone's like, yo, listen, donut, like I feel for you, but like you gotta let this happen. Like I gotta get my man back. And the donut's like, okay, like I don't really have a choice.
All shields disabled. We're good to move.
You disabled the backup generators?
Got all 3.
All 4.
Yep, all 4. Just 1 second.
That's a new gun, Bruno.
We are good.
So anyway, so Sloan builds this thing called the collider over the donut, bro, and like it shoots like it shoots stuff out like every 16 minutes, bro, or some shit. It's crazy. Anyway, so like the collider is taking like energy from the 0 point donut thing, and it's like, bro, it's fucking wild. And so yeah, they had to call this one chick called the Paradigm, who kind of fell out with everybody. The chick from earlier, like she kind of left because they didn't fuck with her anymore because she was like talking shit about people and like, you know, you being extra, and so they kicked her out. But like they kind of need her to like pilot this fucking mech and shit that we're in right now, and that's kind of like where we're at. So yeah, it's like the whole story. So yeah, caught up.
Round of applause. Where's the clap emote? Where's my
Oh yeah, sorry. Do we need sound effects?
Yep. We need sound effects.
I got you.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Full schematics for our mech. Weapons, comm systems, battle
That's not
plans.
good.
That was a story.
Copy that.
Okay, you don't
9
sound
minutes left?
concerned.
They may have the plans. We have the pilot.
What? That's wild.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna make a whole video just on that story.
I think I might too.
Are you serious?